The short story is I had given birth 2 times and I had suffered from postpartum depression, anxiety, and dysphoric milk ejection reflex and separation trauma. Your girl has gone through denial, acceptance, seeking help professionally and communally. Today, with full transparency and no reservation, I am sharing with you all the things I've learned that had helped me gone through some of the darkest periods of my life. You don't need a diagnosis to take advantage of the things I'm going to share in this video. If you are a mom, whether new or veteran, these are all tangible action points that you can start implement right away and start shifting the state of your mind and thrive in motherhood. If I can do it, you can do it too. First thing first, it's time to let go of the expectation that your life is going to go back to normal. Basically, we have to redefine as new mothers what the normal is. Even if I've given birth the second time, I still have to redefine what my normal is. With my firstborn's arrival, I had to go through the really difficult phase of accepting that I am no longer setting my own clock. I'm no longer the one that decides what's happening in my life. The funny thing is, I believe in God, I'm a Christ follower. I thought I had already surrendered, but it's really a whole different level of understanding of what that surrender looked like after having a child. I fought so hard that I almost broke myself. Letting go of that normal that I was used to before having kids is not just like a one-off thing. It's more of a gradual progression of understanding. So if you find yourself struggling to let go of that concept, it is totally normal. I get you. It took me about a year to a year and a half to finally understand that, oh, that normal is actually gone. I think what happens during the first year of life, things are shifting so quickly. You're constantly waiting for the next milestone. It's like, okay, they start sleeping through the night, then they start to crawl, then they start to walk, then they start to open your cabinets and pull out all your kitchen utensils. And then they start to run, then they start to want friends, plus all the sleep regressions. Because of how fast things are shifting, there's almost this delusion that, oh, after this, it's going to get better. After this, it's going to get better. By better, I meant normal. After many times of having those false expectations and realizing, oh, that's not going to happen, after it repeats itself enough times, then it actually helps your brain realize that, oh, that normal is really gone. For the moms that are newly postpartum, these tips are for you. I call them the groundwork. And those are things like sleep, eating enough, drinking enough water, getting some sun on your skin, and getting fresh air. These are all really basic stuff, but you'd be surprised, or maybe you're not surprised, how hard it is to just lay the groundwork of well-being. Even if we've had just given birth, we are still human. We need to eat, we need to drink enough water, and we need sleep. Now, sleep is a luxury. I understand you probably are struggling with that immensely right now. If your baby is not sleeping, then you are not sleeping. That's why I made this video about helping your baby lay that sleep foundation to set them up for success to sleep through the night by the time they're about 3 to 4 months of age. I have done it with both my babies and it worked wonderfully, even with their health challenges. If you want to get more sleep, definitely check out that video. In order to make sure you eat enough, it's a good idea to start freezing meals ahead of time before you give birth. Things like prepping freezer meals that are easy to just pop in the crock pot and go, or things that are already made but frozen so you can just heat it up in the oven. Another way that we've done for both postpartums is to set up a meal train, have a friend that does it for you, send those links to different people, see who is willing to help sign up for meals for specific days of a week. I was very blessed to have a church community that really jumped on that train, and we did not have to cook for a whole month after my second baby is born. And that is something you can potentially put on your baby registries so that people who want to contribute know that this is a way that they can help you. It's not like they have to give you homemade meals, they can also give you gift cards. By the way, if you are resonating with anything I shared, please give this video a thumbs up because that will help get the word out and help more people see this video. Now back to the topic of mental health. You can still sign up for some meal kits with some really simple instructions, or some of them come with oven ready and ready-made meals. Prep lots and lots of snacks. Have lots of bars at your bedside table in a drawer, so whenever you're hungry, you can just take one out and eat. My therapist actually gave me a sheet that looks something like this that helps me set a routine of the day to make sure I get the most important things and have a really basic check-in with myself on how I'm feeling today. I highly encourage new mothers going through postpartum to have some kind of accountability to help make sure that we are prioritizing ourselves first. Just like that old saying, the oxygen mask rule, help yourself first before you help those that that need you. I'm a huge advocate for getting a large water bottle that is spill proof, that you can leave on the bed, because during postpartum, that's where you're going to be 80% of the time. And I realized that even if I have to just lean over to the bedside table to grab my water bottle, I am less likely to drink. But if I have it right by my side and I don't have to reach over to get it, I'm more likely to drink it. I know, first world problem, but these little things add up. They will help you stay more hydrated, which will not only help with your milk supply, but also just help with your energy and recovery overall. Another thing is to prioritize getting out of the house after you're out of the weed with the first month or two, because getting stuck at home is really, really bad for your mental health. You need the sun, you need fresh air, you need to even just get the fresh air of the grocery store. That counts too. I remember the first few times I went out with my baby, getting groceries was so intimidating. So I actually just ordered groceries for the most part for the first few months. I did start with going out on walks. I always stay within the limited perimeter from which I can see my house. That's how intimidated I was, but I still try to get out of my house because it is just so good for my mental health. And after I started therapy, my therapist had me check in on the sheet every day that I am at least out of the house one time, even if it's my backyard. After you lay down the groundwork, the next tip is to remember this simple phrase: it is just a phase. Someone has told me that during my baby shower with my firstborn, and it's totally stuck with me because it's true. If I hold on to something temporary too tightly, I'm either gonna be disappointed or I'm gonna feel hopeless. Each phase has its quirks. Some phases are so fun and so exciting. Some phases are so hard and draining. Actually, most of the times, it feels exciting and draining at the same time. But the key is to just hold on to them lightly and just remember that these babies really grow up so fast and these phases pass by so quickly. I remember with my first baby, I struggled so much when he would not stop throwing foods off of his high chair on the floor. It probably was like a solid month or two where I was really upset at mealtime every single day. I dreaded mealtime, but then it was a phase. It passed so quickly. In fact, I don't even remember how it passed. But now he's 3.5 years old. He doesn't do that anymore. Occasionally, he would challenge a boundary here and there, but most of the time, after some reminder, he's really good at going back on track to not throwing food on the floor. Then I'm going through that with my second baby. She is a little more compliant in that area, but there was still that 2 to 3 weeks where it was really stressful. But because I've already gone through it once, I have much better perspective on the fact that this is just a phase. This is just one example of many things that we've had to work through. Whether it's really hard or really fun, hold it loosely, print out this phrase, paste it at different parts of your house to remember that this is hard, but this is going to be temporary. Postpartum ladies need community. It sounds a little counterintuitive, right? You're already exerting so much effort to keep yourself and this baby alive. Who has time for community? Countless research show that moms need community to thrive. Community is so underrated for the well-being of a new mother. This is where you get help, ask for help, beg for help. This is where you receive different perspectives from older moms or other mom friends who are in the same boat. Brings so much to a new mother. In this time and age, it is so easy to just retrieve and live as a lone wolf, but that is not how we're made. As a self-proclaimed overachiever most of my life, even after I had accepted Jesus, I thought, okay, I am done with that phase in life, but really the process started after I had kids. I love the feeling of being independent and not needing anyone's help, but then I realized that I can't do it myself after I had kids. I needed people, I needed help. When I really hit the rock bottom at my first time postpartum, I went through a lot of denial. I just think that mental health problems are for people who just can't have it together. Seriously, full transparency, was horrible that I even thought that way. Now that I found myself on the same boat of struggling, I gained a new perspective of mercy, which is why I am currently on YouTube making these videos, because I have gone through the struggle and I understand what it's like. Just know that it's going to pass. It's really hard, but you can do this. But you need community. We're not made to live life alone. And that community can be made up of friends, a family, or even professionals. My therapist was amazing. I am forever grateful to her. Soon if you're watching this video. She helped me build a routine. She was the accountability that I needed. She gave me the tools to start start walking out of that dark phase of my life, I had my pastor, who happened to have been a lay midwife when she was younger. She had 4 home births and she knew everything about breastfeeding postpartum. She was not only a great source of knowledge and wisdom, but she was a great shoulder to cry on. I had mom friends who had offered to take my older kids to the playground for a home morning with her own toddler. Shout out to Cassie, I will never forget. So I highly encourage you to surround yourself with a village to support you in this very new transition into motherhood. At the beginning of the video, I talk extensively about letting go of this old normal that we're used to, and now let's talk about embracing a new normal. Even if lives with littles are, we don't set the clock, we don't decide the priorities, still there are ways to have some rhythms and routines that will help mothers thrive. Realistically, the first 3 months is probably going to be chaos no matter what you do, and if that does not apply to you, more power to you. I am really happy you found a way to make it work, but for me, the first 3 months, no matter what I do, is just pure chaos. But after 3 months, maybe your baby started sleeping longer stretches through the night, you're starting to have a little more energy and a little more to spare, it might be good to start setting some kind of routine. And you could start with something super duper tiny. When I needed to walk out of my postpartum anxiety and depression, that one little thing was simply getting out of the bed at a fixed time of day, even if it means I have to go back to sleep 2 hours later. I make sure that I get up at 7 o'clock on the dot, get out of bed, go to the bathroom, wash my face, get ready. And that is how I started working out this rhythm of getting ready in 5 minutes. I needed a routine of getting ready fast, just enough to shift me into the mindset of going to work, because my role as a mother is real work. Even though I don't receive a salary, I don't get a paycheck, I don't have benefits, I don't have someone tapping on my shoulder every day and tell me good job. This is real work. And rolling out of bed at a fixed time of the day and getting ready is the way I tell myself, tell my body and my mind that we're going to work today. It is a way for my consciousness to tell my subconscious that what I do actually matters. So find that tangible thing for yourself, whatever that is. Once you lay the groundwork of that, you can start building on top of it other things as well. If you need more inspiration on how to build a routine as a mom that stays at home, check out this video that I've made about how I use my bullet journal to achieve that. And of course, if you find yourself really struggling, don't just try to DIY your therapy, but actually seek professional help. Talk to your healthcare provider. I'm so glad that at certain states, it is actually mandated that every time you see a primary care provider, you will be given a mental health assessment. I think that's a great way to start, but proactively talk to your healthcare provider about where you're at. If you feel like something is not right, which I try to deny at my first time postpartum, therapy for postpartum mental health struggles is so readily available. You can find them online, you can find them in person. All of the things I shared in this video are things I've learned during this 2 times postpartum, but they should not replace professional help. There might be times when medication could be necessary. A reoccurring truth that I've learned from hundreds of these stories that have been transparently shared by moms on Reddit is the fact that our children need a happy mom. They need a mom who is thriving mentally, who enjoys taking care of them, who is able to get out of bed with excitement for the day. Sometimes it takes some of these methods that I've shared. Sometimes it could actually take medication. A lot of these are temporary measures too. As we walk out of the first 2 years postpartum, our body resets, our hormones resets, and we're going to start feeling more like ourselves again. Don't ever feel ashamed if you need help. The best thing you can do for your children, your family, the people you love the most and love you the most is to take care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself, you're taking care of those that you care about the most. I hope you find this video helpful. If there's anything that really stands out to you from this video, or if there are things I did not mention in this video that you found particularly helpful for your postpartum journey, please share with us in the comments below. And in case you don't know, this video is part of a postpartum series that I made for new moms to help them thrive holistically. That means physically, mentally, relationally. These are not just research or head knowledge, but these are actually tried and true things that I've learned in my own journey of motherhood. Before you leave, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!